the plus time irrigating solutions. Tama ba? Okay. So, ano naman yung solutions? Kulag o. So, parenteral, we are now on parenteral solutions. So, what do you understand pag sinabi nating parenteral? Ay, ayaw na lang. Kaya nade ang meaning di ay. Sorry. Lahi ako ipangutana sa inyo, ha? Okay. So, parenteral solutions. So, these are solutions injected through the skin. So, these are injectables in short. So, it can be injected through the skin or directly into the blood vessel. So, pag sa skin, pwedeng intramuscular. That is the most common. How many degrees ba ang intramuscular injection, Zakaria? When we inject intramuscular, how many degrees na siya? Zakaria?
90 po, ma'am.
Okay, correct. 90 degrees. So, skin. So, we have intramuscular, then we have intradermal. So, sa intradermal, we inject through the dermis. So, can you name a kanang injection na ginahatag nato sa intradermis? Mangano? Na nag-search pa sila kay Google. Sige, Jud, kay pag exam mo, nabagid si Google. Di Jud mo ka-search. Mangano po, what example of a kanang injection that is given through intradermal? Kirubin. Kasi makita na ko diri sa kuan.
Allergy testing po, ma'am, or tuberculosis?
Anong tawag sa tuberculosis? Na ano yan? Yeah, correct si tuberculosis. O ano yan? What vaccination? Yes, Gabayan? Okay. So your BCG is given through intradermal. So we have intramuscular, intradermal, subcutaneous. Oh, subcutaneous. Anong injection ang ginibigay ng subcutaneous? Dalagan. You turn on your cam when you answer. Dalagan? What is dalagan? Kayla? If you will not answer, I will mark you absent, ha? If dili mo mag-unmute, masagwala ko mo yung answer. Kayla?
Hello, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. What's it question, ma'am?
Example of subcutaneous. Asa man kakailangan saba man kaya nasa imong background.
Ay, ano ma'am, ako sa Gmail, ma'am.
Example.
Wait lang, ma'am. Wait lang, ma'am.
Gmul gang murag nagkamtam tong background.
Ay, ano po, ma'am? Insulin po, ma'am. Ay, ma'am.
What's your answer?
Insulin po.
Okay. Okay. Insulin. Yung ba si insulin? We will check later. Scalona, you're raising your hand. Class, just a piece of advice. You know your schedule, right? Na naamoy laboratory, naamoy klase, nga kani. So why are you still in the why are you still not in your home or in your kanang kaning boarding house? If you're not from Davao. Do you think, so meaning on lang mo sa inyong Zoom and then wala mo sa inyong mga balay? So do you think makapaminaw mo tarong if you're outside? Ha? Di ba wala man may mga klase mo ganing gi 7 o'clock ni Shakay para makauli pa mugikan sa inyong mga sa inyong mga klase? Anyone who would like to answer me? Sige, di mo answer. Sasabot ha. Take ko na ninyo, so I will not be ha. Bagsak ha. Sige, pabalik-balik, hindi mo magkuan. Pinarong usahay ng uban. I'm not saying everyone. Ako lang ba, ang inyong dedication sa inyong mga ingon ani ba? Ang uban, absent during sa discussion. Ako, nag-attendance jud ko because sa attendance, ako dyan ang ibutang dito kung absent yun mo, minus good na. No? Para kung mabagsak man mo, na ay reason, ay absent man na, unsa may answer. Kaya ang pangutana, wala man sa, ang pangutana, gidiscuss man, wala man sa handouts. Di man necessarily nga nasa handout ang question, pero kung gidiscuss or application sa gidiscuss, di ba? Your exam will be face-to-face, baya ha? Okay. So sa skin or directly sa blood vessel, so this is your intravenous, muscle, organ, or other tissues. Ang daming parenteral routes. So intradermal, intrathecal, intraspinal, you name it, no? So every area of the body, depende, no? Kung asa nga area. Now, production of your parenteral solution must conform to strict requirements. So very, very strict. We cannot afford to have pyrogens or to have kanang mga contamination sa inyong mga parenteral solutions. Because it will, kasi nga usually ginahatag siya IV. So kung nasa pyrogen, ang gi-injection na pasyente, kalinturahon na noon. Or kung nasa contamination, there will be microorganisms in the blood kasi intravenous siya. So yun ana. So that's why it's very, very strict. So what are these requirements? So microbiological content, 0 microorganism. Maskin isa dapat wala. Impurity content, so dapat no impurities present. It should be clear. So parenteral solutions, number 1 criteria is clarity of the solution besides the purity, no? Purity, clarity. Particulate matter content, dapat wala. Wala kay makita nga naglutaw-lutaw diha. No? Maskin pa ng gagbay, hindi makita sa naked eye, dapat wala jud siya. Pyrogenicity, sabi ko walang pyrogen or mga fever-causing substances present sa iya. So what are the uses of parenteral solution? So it is an alternative when patient is unable to take medication by mouth. So if patient is vomiting, so i-injection na. Kaya nga, katong mga diarrhea, di ba? Diarrhea usually maluya man ka because mawadaan ka og electrolytes or suka, vomiting. So we give them parenteral solution. And they're also for use. So Okay. Sorry, ang iro ko na yung abot. Okay. So alternative again, when patient is unable to take medication by mouth, or they are used in drugs that are inactivated by gastric acid or first pass effect. Now, there are drugs that you cannot find an oral preparation simply because if you give them oral, they are degraded by the enzymes in the GIT, or pag-abot nila sa, it will undergo first pass effect, and like for example, 25% na lang sa drug ang ma-distribute sa lawas because after absorption, ni agig first pass effect. So, alkansi kayo, di ba? You pay for 100 milligram and then 25 milligram na lang. So, kaya we do not make it into an oral to parenteral. Like your mga aminoglycosides. Aminoglycosides are antibiotics that are only available in parenteral preparations, no? So you cannot see abang akwan kanang tablet na mga yung na aminoglycosides. Then also when drug action is required, like for example, you need to give the drug because para like between life and death ang pasyente, so time ang imong kalaban, so we have to give it so that the drug action is required. Like for example, painful conditions. So, naghilak na ang pasyente kay sakit kayo, kay na ay galing operation or whatever. So, you give a parenteral na analgesic para ma-relieve sa pain ang pasyente, no? Yan. Or when drugs are to be delivered to an organ, lesion ang muscle or a nerve, kung direct, like i-direct na to, so kailangan diretso. So we use parenteral solutions. Okay, we go to sweet and viscid preparation. So pag sinabing sweet and viscid, what do you understand pag sinabing viscid atensya? Nathan?
Hello po, ma'am. Audible po ba?
Yes, when we speak of viscid, unsa ang pasabot?
Kanang viscous, ma'am, or kanang sticky. Sa pagsabot nung sa sweet and visit, ma'am, ako maisip kay honey.
Yeah, correct. So pag sinabi nating viscid is viscous. So just like your honey, no? So viscous siya, or kung sa Bisaya pa, lapot. Okay? So that's all. So what are your sweet and viscid preparations? So but before we go to that, let us first have these terms of solubility. I always emphasize this class because students kanang mag-oral exam. Class. Okay. So solubility. So we have a descriptive term of solubility, like very soluble, freely soluble, soluble, sparingly, slightly, very, and practically soluble. Now there is a kanang definite range. So ito sila dito, these are range, no? Range siya So kani sila muna ang mga range, no? Range of solvent that is needed. So this one, so when we speak of solubility, our solute, by the way, unsa man ang solute, Gido? Gido? Asan naman si Gido? Wala man lagi.
Yes, ma'am.
What is solute? Kasi part of solute dissolve in one part of solvent. So what is solute?
Since sina ano
Ang
yung
solute?
purpose niya po in a solvent po.
No, what is solute? The word solute.
Yun po yung dinidissolve in a solvent, ma'am. As dissolved substance po.
Or give me an example of a solute.
Like sugar salts po.
How they become solute?
Kasi they can be dissolved in solvents like water po, usually in liquids.
Okay, correct. So solute is the substance to be dissolved. And solvent is the one that is the substance that will dissolve your solute. Okay, so in this relative terms of solubility, the solute is always taken as one part. So it is measured, the solute here is in grams. Always in grams ang gina-refer dito ha. Tapos, if there's 1 gram of any kind of solute, how many ml of the solvent is required to dissolve the solute? So muna ginapasabot ani. So for example, if we say sugar is sugar very soluble, 85 in 1 liter. Freely soluble, So for example, sugar, I'm not sure kung very or freely siya, no? Or okay, 85 grams, ma-dissolve siya in, you add water to make it 1 liter kasi I think it's very soluble or freely soluble. So for example, sugar is considered as freely soluble. So meaning 1 gram of sugar is dissolved between, like when 1 gram of sugar dissolves in 5 ml. So, kunyari, 1 gram dissolves in 5 ml, no? So 5 ml. Mana ni Ron? Ako gana. So ang 5 ml ana, so 1. So kanang 5, asa man nabilong ang 5, di ba? 1:10. So meaning freely soluble na siya. Freely soluble. So if you read something on solubility, like when compound A is slightly soluble in water. So meaning, kanang compound A, ang 1 gram ana niya will need between 100 to 1,000 ml of water to be dissolved. Okay? So you really need to understand kaning terms o kaning amount. So this refers to the solvent has solvent. Pila ka ml ang kailangan para ma-dissolve ang 1 gram of solute. Mouna siya ang ginamin ani and not vice versa. Okay? So again, your term of solubility, your relative term of solubility refers to how many ml or how many parts of solvent is needed to dissolve 1 part of solute. Okay, 1 part of solute. So muna siya diha ang ginamin nato ana. Okay. Okay. So syrup. So example of sweet and viscid solutions is your syrup. So syrup contains high concentration of sucrose or other sugars. Bakahin.
Yes po.
Bakahin. Question. Simple syrup is how many percent of sugar is present in simple syrup?
How many ano po?
How many percent of sugar is present in simple syrup? Ha?
50?
Sila?
50%?
No, it's not 50. Guzman. Sige. Ana Guzman? How
Ma'am.
much? Pila?
75%, ma'am.
Lang?
75% po.
75 is kulang. Sige. Rampak.
Yes, ma'am.
How many percent?
85% po.
Okay, 85. So simple syrup contains 85% sugar. So you need 850 grams of sugar to make 1 liter of simple syrup. Okay? So again, syrups are solutions containing high concentration of sucrose or other sugars. So we have cherry syrup, cocoa syrup, orange, raspberry syrup, and of course, your simple syrup. So how do we prepare syrup? So first is we have the solution with the aid of heat. So in preparing your simple syrup, we can we use heat because the heat present in this will aid in the solubility of your solute. So para ma-dissolve yung sugar, mas madaling ma-dissolve, so you can use heat. So initin mo yung tubig. Hindi na i-boil ha, heat lang ang sinabi. So ang mainit na tubig mas madaling makapa-dissolve ng sugar. Or another method is agitation without heat. So usually agitation would mean kanang stirring. So there are compounds na hindi mo siya pwedeng gamitan ng heat while you dissolve it because it will caramelize. So ang gawin mo lang dyan is you agitate. So you stir constantly until ma-dissolve yung solute. Or reconstitution. Addition of sucrose to medicated or flavored liquid. Or percolation. So it is the passage of a solvent through a bed of sucrose, no? So these are, but the most common among these methods is the first two. Okay? So we have syrup and F. Ano ang NF? Ipil. What do you understand pag sinabing NF?
National formulary po.
Okay. So meaning this syrup is taken from the national formulary. So syrup in F is also known as simple syrup. So 85% did siya, weight over volume. Ang kanang 65, usually it's really 85 kasi sucrose naman, diba? Now, you have to remember this, simple syrup is self-preserving, meaning kung maghimo kag simple syrup, it will not, kumbaga dili siya madaot because meron siyang preservative in itself because of the 85% sugar in it. Kaya, nape-preserve siya. So, pwede ka nang hindi maglagay ng preservative. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na self-preserving siya, di na gyud siya madaot. Meron lang extent as to how long. Okay? So, low solvent capacity for water-soluble drugs. So, kung mogamit ka og simple syrup and then you have water-soluble drugs, because of the, mas ano na siya, dili kanya ma-dissolve, no? Because of the present of 85 na kasi ang sugar percent. It is inherently stable and resistant to growth of microorganisms when properly prepared and maintained. Okay. Given na paghimo nimo walay organism, microorganism kay kung naa o dili po na pwede. Then we have honeys. Okay. So honeys, so these are thick liquid preparations somewhat allied to syrup, differing in that honey is used as a base instead of sugar. So the chief constituent of honey is invert sugar. So example is quil-oxymel. So it is a mixture of honey and acetic acid. Now, in the early times, in the era of apothecary, ang mga tambal, kasi extract noon, no? Crude extract ang ginahatag sa pasyente na tambal. Kaya wala pa man itong mga tablet apothecary era. Do you know what I mean when I say apothecary era? Anyone? Ha? Wait, paningupon mo class. Do you understand when I say apothecary?
Yes, ma'am.
O, sa man daw na?
Yes po, ma'am.
Ha?
Katong mga first pharmacists po, ma'am. Katong pinaka, like, first version of pharmacist po.
It was in the apothecary era. Just like if you know the story of Romeo and Juliet, diba? O anong pinainom kay Juliet? It was an extract given by the katong para magmimik nga mura siya og kanang, do you know the story by the way, class?
Yes po.
Anong pinainom kay Juliet?
Makapastop sa breathing and heartbeat po, ma'am.
O but imimik niya na parang patay si Juliet, but hindi siya patay, no? Slow down the heartbeat. So ano yung pinainom sa kanya? Do you know the name? It was laudanum. No, laudanum.
Deadly Nightshade, ma'am.
Hindi ako, basta ang alam ko, preparation kasi gi-prepare na siya, no? Laudanum lang alam ko ang ngalan sa ano. I-search mo daw. So, it was given as an extract, di ba? If you can remember katong sa movie. Now, ganyan ang mga pinapainom during the apothecary time. But there are times na grabe ka pait sa katong extract. So, ang ginagawa nila, they mix it with honey, then give it to patients. Or, they mix it with wine and give it to patients. No, during those times, just imagine, because mas mainom pa man sila og wine sa unang panahon, so apil na lang nila dito ang tambal para mainom sa pasyente. So yan na. Okay? Then we have mucilage or mucilage man po tawagan na, dili mucilages. So these are thick, viscid, adhesive liquid. So when we speak of adhesive, so ang honey, thick lang siya, no? Viscid gyapon ang honey. But ang mucilage is, meron siyang adhesive properties. So, how do we know if it is a mucilage? So, it is a dispersion of gums in water. So, mga gums, no? Like your acacia. If we mix it in water, it is a dispersion, no? So, dili man siya ma-dissolve. So, it's a dispersion. Extraction of mucilages and its principle from vegetable material. Sandali lang dyan, class, ha? Okay, so sorry class kay sa internship manggod to. Okay, so extraction of mucilaginous and its principle from vegetable materials. Now, there are vegetables na meron silang mga slimy na mga extract. So these are considered as mucilage also. Hindi naman lahat. Like for example, your, alugbati, di ba? If you slimy yan siya, ano pa ba yun? May mga slimy, so mucilage yun siya. Okay? Okra, yes, okra also. Aloe vera, yan. Yan, we can extract mucilage from these plants. Okay, now we have non-aqueous solution. So pag sinabi nating non-aqueous solution, so it would mean na walang, hindi pure water. Hindi naman walang water, no? So kung walang water, ano na yan siya? Oily na mga, no? So walang, non-aqueous it is not purely water. So we have elixirs. Now elixirs, they are like syrup, no? They are clear, they are flavored, pero it has an alcohol content. So it is, meron siyang, ang solvent niya is water and alcohol. And your elixirs are intended to be taken orally. Now, the alcohol content of your elixir is between 5 to 40%. But depende yan siya. Okay. So, what we, example of a preparation that we have in the market na elixir is your bisolbon. Bisolbon is for cough. Bromhexin ang kanyang generic name. And it is manufactured as an elixir. Okay, so hydroalcoholic solutions. Diba sabi ko nga noon sa apothecary time, they mix the drug with the crude extract, which is considered as a drug during that time. Kahit ngayon naman considered pa rin siya, mix it with wine, no? So wine is alcohol. So example of an aromatic is your aromatic elixir. So it has a 22% alcohol content. And with spirits, so spirits are known as essences, so spirit of ammonia. Pero it's not, ang spirit of ammonia has a very foul odor. That is why, atong mga kuya panog, imong pasimuto na makamata because of the odor na foul, no? It is not something sweet. So spirits also is hydroalcoholic solution of volatile substances. Ito, hydroalcoholic solution siya, but hindi volatile substances, ha? Ang difference. So kung volatile substances, meaning the alcohol is over 60% because your substance, your volatile substance, need to have a higher percentage of alcohol in order to be dissolved. Okay, the uses of your spirit is flavoring agent, vehicle, ma'am, ID less than 60 ml, dili siya considered elixir. No. Ang 60 ml, ang elixir, 5 to 40 lang. More than that is, spirit na siya. Okay? Okay, so ang elixir up to 40 lang yun. So storage of syrup. Okay, so storage, it should be stored in tight, light, resistant containers. Because you know, alcohol is, tawag ito. Anong tawag dyan? Di ba ang alcohol, it will kadugayan mag-evaporate. So that is why it has to be tight, light, resistant containers. The method of preparation of your spirits, the simple solution with agitation. So this is how your aromatic spirit of ammonia is being done. Okay. Solution with maceration. Ano ang maceration, Miss Unahon? What is other term for maceration, Miss Unahon? Miss Unahon?
Hello po.
Yes. Ano ang another term for maceration?
Like, ano po siya, ma'am? Other terms niya po.
Oh,
Like,
ano ang ma-remember mo sa maceration?
parang minamarinate. Marinating. Or,
Lang di man nasudan ka marinate.
ay, like, boniness. Or something like that, ma'am.
Sige, si Miss Sean.
I-soak po, ma'am. Or yung ibabad siya.
So, okay. Soaking. Now, usually sa soaking, sa maceration, what is our solvent? Unahon. Sige, mag-answer sa unahon ganiha. Anong solvent natin if maceration is soaking? Usually, if we have leaves of plants, where do we macerate? Anong ginagamit natin na solvent sa maceration?
Like, mga methanol po, ma'am. Methanol.
Alcohol, but not methanol. Methanol is no longer,
Ay, okay. Like, so sa term alcohol po.
ethanol, usually ethanol. Okay?
Yeah, ethanol, ethyl acetate, mga ganyan po, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Okay, so yan ha, maceration. Then chemical reaction, so by combining two chemicals and then the product is a kanang spirit, no? Soaking, dili marinate. Class, dili marinating ha. Marinating is kung nagluto ta, soaking ato like mag-marinate. Or distillation. So distillation, this is the method of preparing your alcoholic, mga spirits man sila, brandy and whiskey. Okay, so example of a brandy. Ano example ng brandy? Emperador brandy? Or tequila po. So yung mga ganyan, so they are made through distillation. No? Ang kanang kuan. Considered ang mead. Basta mead lang ga. Okay lang mead. What is mead? Huwag man ko kailaan eh. Oy. Alcohol from honey. Kasi ang brandy comes from grapes. Ma'am, ka na mga whiskey, pwede na itambal sa wounds. Kasi itambal. Kung kay alcohol, pwede ni mo hinlo sa wounds. Yeah, we can do that kung kanang, grabe rapot, oy. Ang alcohol is 95%. Ang imuhang Ang imong whiskey, mahal pa kaayo kasi imong alcohol. So, pero kanang mga ano salida na wala kay makuanan, wala kay na i-wash sa imong wounds, o pwede yun kasi alcohol. Ma'am, pang-bake man ang needing, ma'am. Amo ba pang-bake? Sorry ha, di ko bake. Apple jack, apple jack. Vodka. Vodka is, I don't know, asa ba galing ang vodka, but they're alcoholic beverage, different. Kasi yung grapes comes from, brandy comes from grapes. Then we have whiskey. Whiskey is from, ano ganyan? Ako lang nila na whiskey, Scotch whiskey. Kaya namin botilya sa una sa, when I was still young, nasa kong lolo. Wala nag-isulod display Scotch whiskey or J&B. I think that's a whiskey, or Jack Daniels is a whiskey. Tama ba ako? Yeah, Jack Daniels is a whiskey. Mas mahal ang whiskey kaysa brandy. Your Chivas Regal, mga ganyan. Pasensya jud kayo kay samok jud kayo. Apil ang wheat daw po ang whiskey, ma'am. Okay. So sahod lagi kay mo ani. Johnny Walker. Unsa man ang Johnny Walker? Whiskey? Cuervo, aha. Wheat daw ang whiskey, apil ang chaser, ma'am. From grains ang barley. Amo. How jud kay money ba? Sige. So yan ha, so brandy and whiskey. Mas barato ang brandy, whiskey is more expensive, I think, no? And you know, class, every winery, kasi ito ang ginagawa nila, no? So the distinct taste of their product, that's their trade secret. Like kung Jack Daniels daw, they are stored in katong barrel, na ang sulod sa barrel is gitorch, no, something like that. And also, depende yan siya sa microorganism na nag-ferment doon sa fruit, kung saan, or sa materials kung saan siya galing. Okay, fermentation man na, and then after fermentation, they distill na nila. So, depende yan siya. So yan, kaya may distinct siya na taste and distinct na flavor. The only topic we know, what about tuba, ma'am? Well, tuba is alcohol man ang tuba, because ang tuba contains sugar. Tamis lang kay na siya, but kanang if we do not process it, it becomes suka. vinegar because the sugar is acted upon by a microorganism converting it to become acetic acid. O, yan. Walay ulod ang tuba, uy. When we were still young and naamay magkuhag tuba dito sa kalubihan sa kong lolo, ang among atangan na mo ng musaka sa tuba every morning and every afternoon nagakolek na sila no, so or basta morning kay kung afternoon murag morning kasi pag hapon anang bahal na ilang tawag kasi aslom na siya paabot sa hapon kasi wala man kay gi-preserve, wala man kay preservative, so ang microorganism natural fermentation ang may tabo, so mahimo siyang aslom na sa hapon, then mahimo na siyang suka. So anything na dili mahurot na tuba ginahimo siyang suka. So what we did is atangan na mo ng nagakukolek sa tuba niya pagabot sa silong. Mangayo mi, mga agaw na nako. So mangayo mi niya among inumon. Nya tamis mo gud siya, makahubog di ay yan. And the color of the tuba is not kanang orange, it's yellowish. Naala ginabutan somewhat orange siya, red orange. Okay. So, yan. Lambanog comes from not coconut but from nipa ba? I mean, dili siya coconut but kapamilya sa coconut kung saan siya galing si lambanog. No? So yan. Now, semi-solid dosage forms. Manata sa liquid. So we go to semi-solid. So first are your ointments. Okay, I think you know your ointments, right? So these are semi-solid preparations of such consistency that they may be readily applied to the skin by wrapping. Okay, by rubbing. So they not only serve as vehicle for topical preparations but also act as protectives and emollients. What do you understand pag sinabi nating emollient? Ehan Santos.
Ma'am,
Ano ang emollient?
ano ma'am kanang soothing sa skin?
What else? Castillon, sige.
Moisturizing ma'am.
Moisturizing. Dili pa. Sige, kablinda.
Ma'am, mura siya kanang gina-add siya ma'am kay para mo how do you say this? Gina-add just to kanang murag something na more gahi ma'am kay para more pliable siya ma'am kanang murag more kanang mukuan siya ma'am more pliable siya ma'am ba kanang murag murag gina-add siya to something kay para mas easier siya i-spread around tas imo nimong ointment.
So, unsa ang use ni emollient?
Mo na yung ginagamit ma'am kay para like kung tayo no maghimo ka og ointment tas like imuhang active ingredient kay kind of gahi di kay siya good kay spread around para ihimong like topical ointment or whatever, but like so imong ibuhat is magkuha kag emollient tas i-add nimo at sa imong active ingredient kay para kato siya mag kind of like mag-mix siya with the emollient tapos makuan siya ba pwede siya mahimong cream or like ointment na parehas ani.
Okay, what about Escalona?
Ang use ng emollient, ma'am, kay para pag-hydrate ng skin, para siyang lotion.
Pang-hydrate? Badua?
Continuation lang po kay yan, ma'am. Mag-hydrate siya sa skin, like mag-provide siya og protective film nga para mag-trap ang moisture sa skin po, leading to moisturizing treatments po as an emollient.
Flores?
Ginayos po siya to soften the skin po.
To?
To soften the skin po.
Okay. Ang emollient is used as a kuan siya, na siya softening effect. No? So when a substance is considered to be an emollient, meaning it can soften the skin. Okay? Sige. So your ointments can also be, other term for ointments is salve, chrisma, for Latin is ungüentum. So I hope you remember your laboratory, di ba? Naghimo ta og unsa tong gihimo ang ointment? Sulfur ointment and zinc oxide ointment. Do you still remember it? Alak ka, tiguang na day mo ka remember. So your zinc oxide is a white ointment while your sulfur ointment is yellow because sulfur is yellow in color, no? So your ointments can be used to soften as an emollient. It can be used as a protective barrier, so to trap in moisture para dili mag kanang like kasi di ba our skin must be hydrated. So ang uban kung dry skin ka dapat dili nakapanington kay mugawas na pud tong imuhang oils, natural oils from the skin kay dili man na water lang imong gisingot, di ba? More water pero na mga ano. So para ma-trap siya, butangan nimo ointment or naka-i-apply para like there's an area na sa skin na kanang dry, imo siyang applyan para ma-maintain niya hydration niya. Okay? Or vehicle. Vehicle if there is kasi meron tayong white ointment which we use as a base. So, if it is used as a base, it's a vehicle. So, meaning we add to that an active pharmaceutical ingredient, no? Para na therapeutic effect ang inyong ointment. Ayun niya. Okay. So, what are the preparation of your ointment? So, we have incorporation. So, by the word incorporation, incorporate a pill. So, isagol mo tanang components and then you mix them together. So that's incorporation. Fusion is when some of the components are combined by melting them together. So sa incorporation, isagol lang nimo tanan. Sa fusion, isagol nimo i-melt nimo sila. Because usually sa fusion method, we mix solids. And then these solids when melted together, they become semi-solid because of the different temperatures, melting point nila. Ang incorporation, usually, nagmix na taog ka ng semi-solid na daan. So, sa fusion, so they are being melted together and cooled with constant stirring until they congeal or they become semi-solid. So, muna siya. So, that is how, kasi white wax, diba? If you remember, ang atong white wax, gisagulan nato og white petrolatum. Mao na natay white. Ang atong ang white wax gisagulan og white petrolatum. So what we made was white ointment. Then we have creams. So ang creams, they are viscous, liquid, or semi-solid. Now ang creams is more viscous than your ointment. Okay? And they can be oil in water or water in oil. Okay. Del Rosario.
Yes po, ma'am.
Ano ang oil in water na emulsion? Kasi ang creams is semi-solid emulsion. So, what do you remember of oil in water? Huh? Giselle?
Yes po, ma'am. Wait lang po. Oil and water po, ma'am, no? Try lang ako, ma'am, if correct ba niya siya. Mayonnaise po, oil and water.
No, what is an oil in water emulsion?
Oil and water is ano po? Ang oil is nakadisperse siya into water.
So what is the continuous phase, or what is the
Continuous,
dispersed phase, or the continuous phase, the oil in water?
ang continuous phase po is ang water.
Okay, sige, correct. So oil in water meaning the oil inside the water. So the continuous phase is the water. So oil in water emulsions are, you do not feel the greasiness of oil in water because the dispersing phase is the water. On the other hand, water in oil, water is trapped in oil. So it is oleaginous in nature ang water in oil because the continuous phase or the dispersing medium is oil. Okay. So creams are usually employed as emollient, so as softener, softening kanang substance, or as a medicated applications to the skin. Luna? Patients often prefer a water in oil cream to an ointment because the cream spreads more readily, less greasy, and the evaporating water soothes the inflamed tissue. So, water in oil is oily, di ba? Pero compared to ointment, ang ointment oily gid siya kaayo compared to cream. Ang cream kay na siya water content. Ang imong ointment wala siya water portion. All oleaginous gid ang ointment. So if you make a product na merong water that will come out spreadable, we make it into a cream. That is why sa face we apply cream. Like beauty products come in creams, right? Wala dyan mo kakita siguro og Pond's ointment na para sa Now or any other brand because ang spreadability sa cream is better and dili siya greasy. Although oil iyahang dispersing medium or pero dili siya greasy compared to an ointment. Okay, so ang vanishing creams is an example of an oil in water cream, no? Ang cold cream is water in oil. Kaya if you remember, gumawa tayo ng cold cream in drug delivery system laboratory, pero yung iba nag-separate, no? So yan, because nga mahirap sa isang emulsion. Then we have paste. So paste, these are ointment containing as much as 505, namali mo zero ko ani class. Powder dispersed in a fatty base. They may be useful for absorbing noxious chemicals in babies, such as ammonia, which bacteria release from urine. So, like, i-apply nimo like kanang mga diaper, for diaper rash sa baby, they come as a paste, no? Oh, so, i-apply nimo siya para to prevent, kasi ang nag-cause ng diaper rash, these are bacteria, no? That comes from the urine. Then they are less greasy than ointments because the powders absorb some of the fluid. Paste lay down a thick, opaque, and act as an efficient sun filter. Use formulations on the face to minimize windburn. So this is sunburn, ha? Windburn, so excessive dehydration, and to block out the sun rays. So we have zinc oxide paste, which contains 25% zinc oxide. Plasters. So plasters, they are semi-solid adhesive masses spread. So i-spread mo siya sa paper, fabric, or plastic then before applying it to the skin. Now, mupilit yun na siya because it provides prolonged contact to the site. So we have salicylic acid plaster. No? So, ang yung active ingredient is salicylic acid. Then glycerogelatins. Si glycerogelatins, these are, by the name, meron siyang glycerin, meron siyang gelatin, and meron siyang water. Okay. Glycero. So, ang gelatin niya is 15%, ang glycerin 40%, ang water 35%. Tapos, 10% yung active ingredient, whatever active ingredient na pwede, like your zinc oxide. No? So, mo ginayahang tawagan ni consistency, no? You have to remember glycerogelatin is applied to the skin with the use of a brush, fine brush. Okay. So example is zinc gelatin. No, you will use this to treat varicose ulcers. So dili veins sa varicose ulcers. So muna siya ang iyahang API, zinc oxide, like zinc gelatin man siya, then may say gelatin, glycerin, and water. And of course, your suppositories. So these are semi-solid that is intended to be inserted into a body cavity or orifice. And once they are inserted, they melt or dissolve in that area where they are being inserted. Now, ang mga infants, useful ni sila because, for example, nagkalintura ang infant, tapos nagasuka, or mahirap pa inom ng gamot. So, lagyan lang ng paracetamol suppository. Sa debilitated or comatose patients, katong, comatose, debilitated is parang gulay na lang. So, we can use suppositories because we cannot we cannot administer to them orally, lalo na comatose. Or patients who vomit or who have nausea or GI disturbances, we use suppositories. But hindi naman lahat ng gamot pwedeng gawing suppositories. Depende lang yan sa gamot. Okay? Now, there are different types of suppository base. So the first one is your fatty oleaginous bases. So this one is fatty, purely fat or purely lipid, purely oily. So we have cocoa butter. Now, for rectal suppository, we use fatty oleaginous base because they melt below body temperature but retain solid at room. So ang room is 25 degrees Celsius, so solid siya. But once inserted into the body, so 37, no, ang ating temperature is 36, so they melt. No, they melt once inside. Yan. Then we have water-soluble and water-miscible bases by the name. So meaning, pwede siya dissolve sa water or pwede siya ma-mix with water. So we have your glycerinated gelatin and your PEGs, polyethylene glycols. Okay. And miscellaneous bases. So these are mixtures of the oleaginous and the water-soluble materials. So the choice of base will depend on the product. Kung unsa inyong product. Kung kanang inyong product needs to have a miscellaneous base, then we have to mix an oleaginous and a water-soluble base. Now, what are the criteria in the selection of a base? First, so you should select a suppository base that is inert. Okay? Banyaga.
Yes po.
What do you mean by inert?
Ma'am.
Inert. Should be inert. So ano ibig sabihin ng inert, Miss Banyaga?
Ay, yung parang ano po, yung strength niya to move, inert.
Ano?
Yung parang strength po niya to move po.
Ano ang strength niya?
To move po, to move.
To move?
Yes po.
No, it's not. Osman.
Yes, ma'am.
O what is an inert?
Inert, ma'am, kay
What do you understand pag natag inert?
hindi siya, chemically inactive po siya. So, hindi siya capable to move po or to resist.
Not capable to move? Is move the right term? Tama ka, chemically inactive. But when you say to move, dili siya ha? Ilan po kayo? Sige. Ano yung kay Usman? Sinabi mo gani, not chemically inactive. So inert are, yes, these are substances that do not react with the other substances being mixed with. So dapat ang inyong base, di siya mo react sa API, di siya mo react sa tanan nga, gisagol dito sa paghimo sa suppository. Kaya kung mag-react siya, then you create another compound. So di siya pwede. So mangita mo og suppository base na non-reactive. Dili nang katong to move ha. Non-irritating, non-sensitizing, and your base should be firm and should not melt at room temperature because hindi naman lahat ng suppository kailangan ilagay mo sa ref. So, what if dalahunin mo dito sa bukid ang suppository, niya, may ref, may kuryente. So, dapat at room temperature, solid siya. Pero, pag once i-insert mo sa body, it becomes, it melts, no? And it should dissolve rapidly in the cavity fluid. So, pag once na ma-insert mo, it will start to dissolve right away because the temperature of the body is different from the temperature outside. Okay, so that's the things you have to consider. Hand rolling preparation. So, molding of the suppository with the fingertips. Compression. We use a mold. So, this is the one we used last time. And fusion method, this is the commercial method of manufacturing suppositories. So, wherein you use heat, no? So, kasi nga, marami ka nang gawin na suppository. Okay. So, that is the end of our yeah. Okay. Baon sa ang vanishing creams. Usually, vanishing creams kay kanang gina-apply gyapon siya sa now. Part of kanang beauty regimen gihapon, but dili siya as kanang oily para sa kaning cold creams, no? Mga kaik-ikan sa mga ano, pampagwapa, kumbaga. $35 tayo. So, 34 kayo. Sino hindi ko nasulat? Magtawag ko class ha. Zakaria, Manganop, Kirubin, Gabayan, Dalagan, Atensya, Gido, Guzman, Abakahin, Rampak, Ipil, Unahon, Ehan Santos, Mission, Castillon, Cablinda, Escalona, Batua, Flores del Rosario, Banyaga, Usman, Luna, Ochave, Archie, Haliores, Tulanya, Pertimos, Agad, Manipis, Benga, Bukalon. Kinsa wala natawag. Paste ng foundation, ma'am. Dili. Cream gyapon na siya. Kaya ang paste, mupilit biya sa naw, di na ma-move. So, di man ang foundation. Diba? Sino ang hindi ko natawag? Kay 35 ang nasa screen niya. 32 raman akong ihap. Isa ang duha.
Nag-double po ako, ma'am, kasi di marinig sa laptop ang audio ko.
So mga ano, so duha ka, so 33 na lang. Kisa ang wala dyan natawag isa. Bayla.
Ako din po, ma'am.
Pwede duga.
Manipis po.
Natawag na kita agad, Manipis, Benga, Bukalon. Tawag kita. So ang wala, Sino ang wala dito? Dumugho again. Kung yung sa may grado na kanin dumugho.
Si Royo din po, ma'am.
Last time Royo was around. Ngayon wala. Pero sa katong ato ang absent jud si Royo sa microbiology. Wala jud siya two meetings absent. Usman Benga 1 absent, Rampak 1 absent, Guzman 1 absent, Dumugho 1, Bukalon 1 absent sa micro. Tama? Tumana adre.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Royo is absent gyud. Karon last time lang siya present. Sama ni if
Ma'am,
you go to absent, yes.
si Dumugho po kanina kay wala din po sa analysis lek namin kasi may sakit daw siya, ma'am.
Last week na po siya sakit. Wala ko siya last week kang. Nya kapong ano ta? Pwede mo siguro maminaw lang, di ba? Kay online namin yung may ka, ma'am. Maminaw lang ko, ma'am, ha? Kay at least, o, di ba? Anong sakit pala niya, Luna? Luna ba yun?
Wala niya po, ma'am.
Ay, sila niya.
Ano po daw, ma'am? May lagnat daw ata. Sila kasi nag-usap ni Vince kanina. Kaya di daw siya nagpasok sa analysis namin.
Oo. Pero kani si Royo, in your other subjects na, in your other CEE, nag-present di siya?
Minsan lang din po, ma'am.
Okay, wala gid siya attendance sa micro. Wa jud siya attendance diri kay isa lang yung attendance. Saon sa ilaha. Okay? So do you have any question before I will go just a little bit? Aktiban kami sa GC, nag-announce kami. Lagi, hindi ba? Nag-announce gani, di ba? So, ako, I always check the attendance because para pag abot sa time nga kung nabagsak, ay na ako yung yung attendance, di ba? Although the grade is cumulative man sa tanan, pero so may answer ni mo, waka na minaw. If the questions I will ask, it comes from the Saturday. Message lang ako ulit kay you message me by Saturday because I'm not yet sure kasi kung mayroon ba kaming nito defense, no? So you just PM me, ha? PM me. Okay. Do you have any other question before I will? So wala naman siguro, no? Okay. Napaka natawag dire. Okay, this is just makita niyo na class.
Yes, ma'am.
Last year kasi kasali ang Manof. Ngayon DDS lang, but I will include this one, no? Kasi sa board exam, appeal man ang Manof for the questions. So manufacturing, so your pharmaceutics to 03, which you after DDS is first sem, manufacturing is second step of your second year. Okay? Now, this is just a very quick tawag nito, review. So, what is, bakit nakapin? So, pharmaceutical manufacturing is a branch of pharmacy which presents the fundamental principles for the preparation of pharmaceutical products on a large scale. Now, sabi ko nun, di ba, apothecary. So, during the apothecary, katong mga pharmacist, anong matawag sa kanila? Kalimutan ko. Sila nagagawa noon. Then, here comes, after that era, we have the compounding era wherein the pharmacist is given a prescription and then i-compound niya. Kagaya yung ginagawa ninyo sa DDS, yun ang ginagawa ng mga pharmacists noon during the compounding era. But with the birth of pharmaceutical companies, the manufacturing of products is now on their, on their end. Sila na ang nagagawa. So the pharmacist now becomes a dispensing. So tayo lang nagabigay ng product na ginawa ng pharmaceutical company. But today, we are now on the pharmaceutical care era, wherein we do not only dispense drugs, but we do counseling. Diba? So, yan. So, ang pharmaceutical manufacturing, they are there because of the demand, no? Because of the demand na mananaghan ang population. So, kailangan gumawa ka ng gamot na pangmaramihan. So that is the reason why pharmaceutical companies were born. Now, before you can make a drug, the first is you have to do research. Diba? Nganong naamay paracetamol, nganong naaman ng mga bagong tambal. These are products of research. Kung walang research, wala tayong bagong gamot because we cannot just assume na, ay, this plant is good for this type of disease. How do we know it? Nganong ka ng mga tambal makabalumanta nga anti-infective siya, antibiotic ba siya, anti-hypertensive, anti-diabetic, di ba? So, meron talagang research component. Now, after research, so na-prove na meron siyang therapeutic activity, then we do production of the drug. So mag-produce na tayo ngayon. But during the production, there's what we call control. Ano yung control? Control of parameters. For example, we have to make sure that our product is of good quality, safe, and effective. So, kaya may control. And when we are sure of that, then that's the time that we distribute our products. Okay, so yun na. So, it is a complex, multifactorial environment with an overall aim of discovering. So, first, the research we discover. Developing is the production. And marketing now is the distribution and control and distribution. So marketing safe and efficacious medicines. It's not just, yes, there is a goal na it's a business, but dapat, besides that, ang company, ang kanyang aim talaga is mag-discover, mag-develop ng gamot na safe and effective. Yun talaga. And it demands high standards and quality from its employees. So dapat, when a company is producing drug, it must abide the standard, no? Nag-set ng, for example, good manufacturing procedures, CGMP, or the PICS, you know that one. So may mga standards tayo nag-set na dapat yun ang basehan ng mga companies. Okay? And quality. Remember, quality is built into the product. Kasi, hindi pwede na ang quality is pagtapos mo na ginawa si tablet. Dapat from the raw materials to the finished product, quality must be embedded. And hindi lang sa product but sa kanyang mga employees. So we do not just put people there. Dapat may qualifications, diba? So yan. Now, manufacturing or the word manufacture, it is the complete set of activities to produce a drug. So when we speak of complete set of activities from raw mat to finished product. So it comprises of production and quality control from dispensing of materials to the release for distribution of the finished product. So it's an overall process, no? From the raw component to the finished product, yun na siya. That is manufacturing. Now, ano naman yung manufacturing firm or the plant? So a firm that design, test, and produce dosage form that contain exact quantities and qualities of drugs that are acceptable, producible, convenient, and elegant. So kung gumawa tayo ng gamot, hindi lang basta hibo lang kag biologic, no. You have to consider that the drug you manufacture, paracetamol dili biologic, paracetamol, exact quantity meaning each tablet must have 500 milligrams. At saka yung kanyang quality is acceptable, meaning the dosage form, the color, the packaging, lahat. Okay? You put that into consideration. And a manufacturing firm has the professional, legal, and social responsibilities as to the assurance of the finished product. Kaya nga may mga batch tayo lot number para pag sinabing, hala, ang kaninga lot number is nag-cause og ingon ani nga side effect or na something na mali. So what do we do is that we recall them. Kasi nga, you have to assure the public na tama yung binenta mo. Okay? Now, since the drug manufacturing firm has the major responsibility regarding the quality of its product, then it is in a position to, ito na ang mga responsibilities niya, control the sources of product quality variation. So, ano itong product quality variation? So, dito nang gagaling ang reason bakit mayroon ka nga lahi-lahi ang product. Like, one company produce a different, kahit sabihin natin paracetamol tablet. Another company produce another tablet. Kasi nga, may product variation. Nga naman, materials. Atagi ko sa company A yang raw mat, ug unsa ang iyang mga excipients, di ba? Sa company B pod, di man yun na pareha. Method, so, like kaning isa, giuna niya og giuna niya kaning step, isa na iyang step. Machine, so kaning isa, yung kaning tableting machine yung gigamit, kaning isa lahi. And of course, the person who is in charge of doing the work. So, from that standpoint alone, lahi-lahi na gid ang produkto. Kaya, kahit sabihin natin, ang burger ni McDonald's is different from the burger of Jollibee. The spaghetti of McDonald's is different from the spaghetti of Jollibee. But it is still the same spaghetti. Nga nung magkalahi man, or more of the same paracetamol, so the same spaghetti. Hindi natin alam saan kinuha ni McDonald's ang kanyang materials, anong methods ginawa niya, anong machine ang ginamit niya, and sino yung tao na gumawa. Kung ano na siya. Another, your manufacturing firm must ensure the correct and best known manufacturing packaging. Packaging is very important for the drug because gibuhatin mo ang drug, but we all know that the drug is prone to mga degradation, mga ana. So, in order for us to protect the drug, It has to be packaged correctly or packaged in a material that will maintain the quality of that drug. Then your firm must acquire the testing results for compliance with the standards and specifications. So every batch must undergo rigid quality control test before it has to be released. And the firm must provide the product stability data as well as other product-related activities through a well-organized total assurance system. So, meaning, itago dyan mo imong mga results sa imong stability data. Ano nakaigon ka nga, ang yung shelf life is 3 years. Because meron kang stability data. Meaning, pinag-aralan na how long siya stable. Okay, yan. So, a good manufacturing practice or a GMP, which must be followed by a manufacturing firm, is a system of quality assurance aimed at ensuring that products are consistently manufactured to a quality appropriate for their intended use. So, you have to make sure that a manufacturing firm, if they follow the GMP, then they can assure that their products are being manufactured in a consistent manner and the quality is appropriate sa iyang gamit. Okay. So yan. Your GMP also is a set of principles and procedures which, when followed by manufacturers of therapeutic goods, helps ensure that the products manufactured will have the required quality. O, kung i-follow nato ni siya ang principles and procedures of GMP, masiguro nato ng atong product is of good quality. O, so mo na siya dapat. So what are the basic requirements? So ito ang dapat sundin ng mga manufacturing firm. In the manufacturing process, it has to be clearly defined, like, klaro, i-mix ba, i-blend ba, i-granulate ba, for how many minutes, for how many rotations, and everything. So, very specific. Then, there are critical steps of the procedure, and it has to be validated. When we speak of validation, like, paulit-ulit natin siyang ginawa, and we have the same results each time we do it. So if meron tayong ginawang procedure and we do it again for the next batch, we do it again for another batch, and then the product of these 3 batches are of the same, then we can validate that our steps is okay. No, pag nag-validate ba, may murong ka mo i-validate ang feelings. Pa ba? Tama ba? Halaway na ninyo, ganaman. Validate. When you speak of validate, sure ba ka? Kasi istoryera ng imuha, ana gani, o nagkatawa sila. Di ba? Validation. Ma'am, 75 good ko, ma'am. I-validate din mo ba na yung mga estudyante, ma'am? Nanong nabagsak ko, ma'am? Nanong, ma'am, nanong 89 lang akong grado? So, i-validate dyan niya nga 89 nagdi ang grado, murag anak pa. Siguradoon, anak po sa manufacturing company, o dili lang ng mga feelings diha. Okay? So, validate. Ha? Because pag na-validate, maudyo na siya, murag anak pa. So, the facilities for good manufacturing practice must be provided. And kung sa man siya nga mga facilities, imong personnel, mga tauhan must be qualified. So, dili ka pwede mo kuha lag basta-basta nga high school. Di man ingon, no? But they have to have the knowledge. So, kung dapat pharmacist, chemist. But katong mga nagtrabaho dito, katong nag-manufacture na sa tablet, operate sa machine, they have to have the skill to use the machine. So, di ka basta nga, sige, gamitan na, basahan ng manual, no? Dili ganyan. There is transfer of technology. So, when a company buys from outside, like Germany, US, magpadala na diri sa Pilipinas ang katong company o tauhan. na mo train sa tauhan diri sa Pilipinas nga anion paggamit. That's very basic. Then adequate premises. So meaning dapat dili ka kung ang require sa imo 100 square 100 pila ka hektarya, you can go beyond that but you cannot go below that. No, ang premises itself must be di po ka pwede nga in the center ka sa asa nga lugar nga dapat specific area. Equipment is very important. So dili stainless steel ang requirement. Okay na ning plywood. Pwede na. No. So dapat kung sa tong specify mo itong gamiton. Correct materials. Ma'am, wala tayo peg 6,000. Sige ka ng peg 4,500 lang. Pero kita sa lab ba? Nanghimo og kwan. Okay lang na kayo. But in the real aspect, di na mo pwede. Di na pwede ilitan. No? Approved procedure. So kung sa itong giingon na procedure, kung may kag-hit, di ka pwede, sige, ilain mo na to ni. So di pwede magbuot-buot. Dapat, i-follow dyan na mo. And, suitable storage and transport. So kung kailangan i-store siya sa area na naka-air condition, so dapat ito ginimi-store imong tablet finished product and not in other areas nga mainitad siya. So ganon. Instructions clearly written. Facilities pa lang na ha. Instructions clearly written. Operators must be trained and records proving steps and procedures produce quality product. Records of manufacture retained comprehensively and accessible. So meaning, pag ka, pakikuha daw dito sa katong batch bias and record, ma-access din mo di kay, ma'am, wala man ma'am. No. System recall, like, unsa ang sistema kung naakay kwaon sa market. When you speak of recall, naanan siya sa mga drugstores, tanggalon nimo kay na ay something sa product. And examine complaints. So, naakay sistema ana. Okay. Today we have what we call not a GMP, not a CGMP. Ang CLAN is current good manufacturing practice. Because ang manufacturing practice man good ang GMP, mauna gyud na siya. But sometimes we add kung unsa ang kailangan as of this time. So current. So GMP should be designed to be flexible, to allow the manufacturer to decide how to implement the controls by using scientific sound design, processing methods, and testing procedures. So the C in GMP means current, meaning up-to-date technology. So meaning, kung kana sa una, dapat kabalo ka kung naanay development, kung ani na ni siya karon, you follow what is being used now. Di kay sa una ni proven and tested na ni namo. Yeah, but you know, ang current mo man jud atong tumanon. O di ba? The overall concepts of quality should be built into the product, as I mentioned kanina. And testing alone cannot be relied on to ensure product quality. So, and a product that is fit for its purpose. So, yan. What are the principles of CGMP? Build quality. So, you cannot test or inspect quality into a product. It must be first quality. So, meaning, naghimo kag product, i-test nimo in the end kung quality ba siya. No, it has to be into a product. No? So, di mo siya pwede inspect. I mean, when you do it, when you manufacture your goods, every step must be quality. Then have controls in place for each step of the process, increase the likelihood the product produced is safe and fit for its intended purpose. And the product from product from contamination and cross-contamination and prevent mix-ups. No? Modyo na siya. Know what you are doing in advance and document what really happened. Remember, if it's not documented, then it did not happen. Do you still remember it, class? Tamano?
Yes, ma'am.
If it's not documented, then it did not happen. Okay. Work towards consistency and control and monitor your system and have an independent quality assurance group. Katong outside, no? Kaya kung usually inside lang ato ang in-house lang, Ay, sige, okay na na. Pero kung outside ang imuhang akuan, mag-inspect sa inyo ha, wa man siya pakialam, pumapasar kag dili sa inspection, di ba? Just like board exam, we do not give it, the school does not give the board exam, it's an outside, independent, which is the PRC. Wa sila pakialam, pumapasar o dili ang estudyante, basta ila ihatag nila ang test, mura ginana siya. CGMP outlines a quality system. So why do you have to have a system? When you speak of quality system, naka-organize, na things to do. Why do we have to have this one? To prevent or reduce errors. Kung dili ma-prevent, when you speak of prevent, para dili mahitabo. Ang reduce, kung naaman, gamay lang. Ensures that products are safe for human use. Mo ang number 1, safety will always be the top priority. Prevent and controls contamination or cross-contamination. Because okay nga imong product pero na-contaminate lang, di ba sayang kaayo? So, kana gid siya no. And minimizes potency variation of drugs. So, kung mayon kag 500 mg din na siya dapat. Dili kay ang isa 300, isa 400. Because if okay lang kung below, underdose, kung masobrahan, side effects. Ensures reproducible physiological activity, meaning when you do it over and over again, reproducible, you still get the same, no? And prevent mislabeling and adulteration. Kasi nga, kung sa'yo nakasulat sa label, mo man dito itong like paracetamol ang label, we expect that what is inside is paracetamol. Kaya kung dili, ang label paracetamol, yung sulod ay dili, that is mislabeling and adulteration. O, di ba? Kamu gani, o. Label, correct label, kumbaga. A quality system, meron dapat quality system. Anong mga requirement? Ito ang benefit sa benefit. Ano ang requirements? It must have a quality system. So, validation, CAPA. Okay. What is CAPA, Miss Luna? Luna? CAPA? Nasaan naman si Miss Luna?
Hello.
Yes, Brangel, what is CAPA?
Corrective and preventive actions po.
Corrective action, preventive action. Ang A na. Okay. Then, qualified and trained personnel, fit for use buildings and facilities to meet the purpose. Equipment that is suitable, clean, maintained, and calibrated. Sino yung kasi ito nag-raise hand? Kasi ito nag-raise hand. Sino yon? Baila ang nag-raise hand. Baila. When we speak of calibrated, dapat ang equipment daw is calibrated. Ano ibig sabihin? Baila?
Ano po, mag-record ng accuracy po. Records the accuracy.
Pag may tag-calibrated, kung saan ginahimo nato sa itong machine? Yes, accuracy, it has something to do. So we test the machine, like kung may kag 5 grams niya, 5 grams babagyod na, o basig dili na siya. Mali na ang calibration. So that's why we have to have it calibrated every now and then. So natay, dapat every 3 months ba, every 6 months, o ingon ana, ha? Para we are correct. Especially calibration has something to do with kanang weight sa mga weighing, no? Calibration. Controls in place to prevent degradation or contamination of materials. So pwede sa raw, in process, and final. When we speak of in process, kung sa ibig sabihin ana, Chave.
Hello, ma'am. Ano po yan, ma'am?
Ano ang ibig sabihin ng in process? Na raw, na in process, and final. Ano ang in process?
In process po, ma'am, is um currently under development po, ma'am.
So, meaning, when you speak of, partly correct, so when you speak of in process, meaning while we are producing the product, or currently of producing the product, while it is being manufactured, so that's in process, and we have tests for that. Okay, production and in process controls for performance monitoring and deviations. What saan ang deviations, Archie? Deviations? Deviations?
Deviations po.
Meaning?
Naka-standard po siya, ma'am.
Ano, Archie? Ano yung sinabi niya?
Ano po siya, parang naka-standard po, naka-establish po siya within a standard po.
Alyores. Alyores.
Marinig po ako, ma'am.
Yes.
Deviation po is yung makita mo yung difference between the observed value and the expected value po.
That is the meaning. But in manufacturing, what do we mean when we say deviation? Sige. Partly correct yun. So, Lanya.
Ano po, ma'am? I think manufacturing deviation po, ma'am, kay ano yan, ang pagkaintindi ko lang, ma'am, ha? Kay unplanned siya. Tapos temporary change to a document procedure or design po, ma'am.
Sige. When you speak of deviations, meaning, what is it, like in the manufacturing process, pag may kang na deviations, meaning, there is something that you did not follow, but instead of following what is written, you did something else. That is kanang tantamount to the same. Meaning ba, kani nga procedure, kani, wala na mo gi-follow, pero naghimo kag lain na procedure, na step, not procedure. In the procedure, there is one step that you did not follow, but you followed another step, which is not written. So that's deviations. But when you do that, you have to establish that yung deviation, yung kaibahan na ginawa mo, will still result to the same product intended na ma-manufacture. Okay, that's deviations. Meaning, ni-deviate ka, meaning nilahi ka ba? Pero, like, straight lang ka. This is the way. Dire ko sa pikas mo agi. Pero, nag-abot gyapon mo dito sa tumoy. Ana. That's deviations in manufacturing. Packaging, proper packaging labeling, laboratory control, specification. What is specification per TIMOS? Sobrang specifications. Per TIMOS?
Yes po.
What do you understand pag sinabi nating specifications?
Gina-record po yung mga productions process po.
Gina-record?
Gina-provide po yung parang clear instructions po.
Okay. So just like, palit ka og cellphone and you will ask the technician, unsay specifications ano inyong product? What answer would you expect? Like unsay specifications ani? Unsa man ninyo expect? Agad. Aning wala pa natawag.
Try lang mo feel ko kanang mga details niya something ma'am da
Details?
Yes po.
Okay, so specification niya, that's correct. So details, no? So meaning, like, kung sa specification sa cellphone na iPhone 14, kana siya. Meaning, unsa na siya all about. Ana po sa product, sa laboratory. Like, ang specification, dapat yung hardness ingon ani. Dapat iyahang thickness ingon ani. So, dapat ang iyahang shape ingon ani, iyang weight ingon ani. So, muna yung specification, sundon dyan na nato siya. Okay. So, quality system. So, it is the organizational structure, responsibilities, procedures, processes, and resources for implementing process management. So, if we want to build quality into our product, we have to have the system. Ano sa maning system? Dapat na structure. Like, kinsa ang pinaka-head, organizational structure, di ba? If you remember in your man of lab, we asked from you an organizational structure of, di ba? Di ba naamoy company, di ba? Naghimo mo, like your group is a company. And kung sa man yung organizational structure, CEO ba sa pinakataas, president ba, and after saya, kinsa ang direct ana, di ba? You remember those things? Okay, so muna organizational structure. So that's first step of quality, meaning na ay assign kinsang individual assigned ana, responsible ana. Kasi it follows responsibility. So there is organizational structure refers to the people placed in that position. And what are the responsibilities of these people? And mga procedures na, like di ba we have SOP. Standard operating procedure, gumawa kayo. Gumawa ba kayo? Last year? Huwag mo nihimo.
Yes, ma'am.
Gumawa kayo ng SOP. Then processes, resources for implementing process management. Quality system states specific requirements for such key elements of management responsibility, quality planning, CAPA, design controls, and purchasing controls. So, ano na siya? Yun na talaga doon sa company. Yung ginawa nyo, at least a simulation of ganito pala when you make your own company. So, ang quality control, so this is the most basic level of quality. So, sa pinakasuna, di ba? Ano ka na din sa chat? Displacement shift from the norm. Yeah, that's correct. Shift from the norm, displacement from the given standard. Ay, ang deviation works SOP, ma'am. Like, wala kayo na pala ang step niya. Detour. Okay. Sige. So, the most basic level, no? So, muna siya ang pinaka-basic quality control. So, it started with activities whose purpose is to control the quality of products or services by finding problems and defects. Dili na pinakauna to. When we make our products, i-control dyan nato ang parameters sa iyang quality, no? Like ang thickness, na naman yung specifications. So, if we can do it always, like we do quality control each time we make our product, then we can be assured na natay quality assurance. Because we receive or we have the same product at the end. And pag meron kang assurance, then meaning maganda ang imong management because that is quality management. So how can you say na quality management ka kung wala ka namang quality control? So ingon ana. Okay, so step-by-step process siya. So develop from the realization that quality could be improved by looking further up the line. It is aimed at preventing non-conformities or defects ang quality assurance. So kanang quality control. Quality assurance further up the line, no? Ang management responsibility, so kinsay manubag, ug naay mamali, management of resources, asa ginakuha ang mga ginagamit na materials, management of the service or product process, and management of measurement, analysis, and improvement. So QC versus QA, quality control versus quality assurance. The QC unit monitors overall compliance with CGMP. Ang yahan is ni follow ba ka sa gisulat sa CGMP. Ang assurance supplies oversight by auditing the functions of. Ang assurance i-audit nila kung ang quality control naghimo ba gyud aning compliance. So sila ang test. So they identify and investigate out of specification results, deviations, and failures in both production and the analytical laboratory, CQA. Okay? Like, nag-follow man ang QC sa tanan, nag-comply man sila, nga nung naamay something wrong with the product, so karon na pangitaw na ni QA, asa na mali. Okay. Validation, yung kanina sabi ko, documented evidence that provides a high degree of assurance that a specific process, facility, or support system will consistently produce a product meeting its predetermined specification and quality attributes. So validation helps assure that products are pure, safe, and effective. So natay process validation. So muna ang guidance. So mala ni siya principles, no? So stages lang ni siya. Just go through it. No? Then we have, so kana siya, ang validation ay process. So tanaw na to kung ang process gi-follow ba is always ba will give us the same result. So that's why we have to validate. Method, yung ginawa ba nating method, tama ba? Always ang outcome, no? Like procedures and methods validation. So each method used to analyze the drug or biologic must have associated validation to support the documentation of drug substance, product identity, strength, purity, and potency. Facilities and equipment system. So, areas are designated as clean and dirty. So, na mga area na dirty area, clean area sa lab. So, na physical separation. So, na-adjoy pag-divide. Equipment and staff for each operation. So, ang equipment, kung pang tablet siya, paano nga product, diha lang yun siya. Ang staff na mag-operate, kana lang yun siya. Kung ma-absent tong staff, wala pwede mag-operate. Kaya madaot ang machine. Kung pataka lang, wala na train ang ipa-operate. Then, personal protection equipment. So, PPE. To prevent contamination by humans. So, when you enter a lab, especially in the production area, double dyan na yung PPE. Ang PPE dito sa production, dito ra gina nimo sa uton. Di na nimo pwede igawas. Kaya kung igawas na nimo, di na nimo pwede sa uton, gamiton sa sulod. Areas must operate to a single standard GMP or non-GMP and need to have designated areas. Asa imong building materials, imong air handling. So tanan-tanan, naka-designate mga allocation. Records. Distribution records must be maintained to aid in recall. So, manipis. Makapit ito mga human. 5
Yes,
minutes.
ma'am.
Why is there a need to record? Ano kailangan man ta mag-record? Mas manipis.
Ma'am, kasi po, if it is not recorded or documented, it never happened po.
Okay, so dapat mag-record ta para na documentation, no? Material system, the measurement and activities to control finished products, components, containers, and closures. Why do we need to control, Benga? Why do we need to control not only the finished products, but component, containers, and closures? What do you understand of this one? Why do we need to have inventory? Ha?
Para mabalance po, ma'am. And ano po,
malaman kung anong kulang po or sobra sa mga materials po, ma'am.
Okay. So we need to control because like naka 1,000 ka bottles, you only use 600. So dapat ang mabilin 400. Kaya kung nanay nakulangan, halaka asa na nadto. Baka na nagpalusot o mga ganon, no? So yon. Written procedures for the receipt, storage, testing, and approval or disapproval of raw materials, components, products. Bakit kailangan written procedures, bukalon? Nga karon ko naman ta, digital era naman ta, kanong kailangan gihapon ang written procedures bukalon?
For it to be accurate then, ma'am. Kasi yung mga procedures na yan, it will also guide and entail the staff that is responsible for a certain procedure then to be guided.
Okay, sige. Sino yung nag-raise ang hand? Christian, what can you add?
Yes, ma'am, because audible ka, ma'am, because if i-oral lang siya nga procedure kay may tendency na makalimutan po ng staff or ng tao kung if ibalik siya nga procedure po.
Okay, sige. Atensya.
Hello po, ma'am. Audible po ba?
Yes. Nga naman, kailangan written ang procedures written.
Kay kung let's say ma'am digital ma'am kay may chances na basin ma cyber security breach ma'am then ma-hack then pwede nila ibago ang values or kawaton ang documents. At least kung written pwede lang ma-keep sa isa ka person.
Okay. Archie.
For me po, ma'am, need siya i-write po kasi it will help to reduce the number of errors po. Kasi yun nga po, sabi ni Nathan na baka cyberchemy po. Tapos mas quick po pag meron pa kasing mga tao na di pa medyo techy po pa, dili pa kayo kabalo mag-maneuver sa technology. So, mas quick para sa ilha ang i-write ang mga procedure.
Mga
Important po, ma'am, na written may written records po, ma'am, kay as said kanina, ma'am, na kailangan documented ang whole process. And para ma-ensure din, ma'am, if ever mag-double check sa procedure, ma'am, kay lessen ang errors.
Ma'am, nakamute ka po.
Okay, tama yun na sinabi nyo, but remember, we cannot rely on our memory. So, kumbaga, if na ay operator diha, memories na nga 20 years na siya ginimo ana. Pero dili nagpasabot nga, wala na written procedure. Kasi, what if meron siyang nakalimutan along the process? So, lahat yun, wala. So, dapat, maskin pag memorize na nimo, piyungan na nimo, na-adjud kay, and for future reference, diba? So, na-adjud kay ka ng, basehan. Okay? Okay. Oh, ayaw mag-next. Production systems, the quality and manufacturing process and procedures must be defined, approved, controlled, batch numbering, and maintaining proper traceability. So, Yan. And then verification of all steps, including sign-off, are required for critical process steps. Kaya if you remember, all batch records must be reviewed and have a QA approval because before the product is released. If you remember in your wala man din mo, no? Wala man mo kahimog BMR, no? Actual sa inyong online. Kahimo ba mo? Last year?
Parang nakagawa ata kami, ma'am.
Actual? Na
Ay,
kanto
like
sa
ka na murag, kuan ra.
template lang
Kopya-kopya
gipahimo na
lang.
sa inyo.
Opo, template ra.
Kasi kana siya is pirmahan mo na ninyo. So na signature. So every step na signature to validate na kana siya nga person na naghimo ana. So yun no. So muna ang importante. Package and labeling system also. So the FDA recommends as part of the design process and before commercial products. So kailangan ka ng, if nakay something na kay packaging, imo na i-report sa FDA na mo na yung packaging kasi mag-apply man kasi mong product. If you change the packaging, you have to notify them. Di lang ka basta-basta nga. Feel na ko ngayon, anin na po, dili ka. So it has to be notified. Okay. Distribution of labels to manufacturing unit. Laboratory control system. So kana po written documentation. So mga whatever is done inside the laboratory. So muna siya kanan no. Nana dito. Critical elements of subsystem, your SOP, you know your SOP. So na sa SOP na dito ang mga requirements, prerequisites if you remember. Kinsa ang responsibility, kinsa unsa ang kanang prerequisite, di ba? Ginawa natin yun last time. May kailangan bang training yung tao na gumawa nun, mga records, diba? Or gani siya yung definition. So these are your standard operating procedures. So this is the content. So purpose or scope, materials, procedure. So yan. And merong, diba? Should be reviewed and updated. So na by review date and update date. If you can still remember, dito sa yung header na siya. And kailangan na mo sign. And your kappa. So, kappa, if there is if na ay complain or na ay something na mali or not mali but kanang pag pag inspect ay na ay murag kani siya murag dili ni siya correct. So you need to give a corrective action. So meaning what will you do to correct the error? And what preventive action can you do para dili siya mahitabo next time? So that's kappa. Corrective is ngayon, anong gawin mo para makorek siya? Preventive, para hindi siya mangyari again. And also verification, ito na. So yan. So lahat ng yan, no? So, pareho lang na sila. And these are some of the HVAC, no? If you can, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. So it is a system that helps maintain indoor air quality through adequate ventilation with filtration and provide thermal comfort. So muna siya HVAC. So ang mga manufacturing na siya HVAC, no? So heating, ventilation, air conditioning ang meaning ana. So muna siya, no type of once through air schematic recirculated. So a technical or kind of so. Basta importante, kabalo mo nga na siya HVAC, no? Mga engineers na magtanawan eh. Clean room, so especially ang clean room is kanang ang particles are controlled. So na siya measurement of particles, like pila lang ka particle ang pwede present na room, like 10,000, na siya measurement 5,000, 100. So kung 100 lang gani, kuan kina siya kanang grabe ka control ang iyahang room pa. So meaning 100 particles lang ang allowed in every square something to prevent contamination. No, narao? Measurement of particles. So na siya. So, yan. Ay, di po wala na yun dapat hangin na. Controlled lang. Di po wala hangin. Na hangin o air. Pero dapat yung air, walay kasali na particulate matter or microorganism. No. So, muna siya. Ang dapat. Di pwede way hangin na di na ta ginhawa sa sulod. So facility classification na ay non-sterilized, na ay sterilized, so depende sa ano. So para ani 100 lang ang applicable kani 100,000 kay non-aseptic man kani aseptic application. Kay sterilized like ang imong area is parenteral, so sterilized operation na siya kay parenteral. So dapat na ay aseptic application. So 100 lang ka 100 lang ka particles kana ang ginaingon ana. So just imagine types of airflow, then wala na yan kay class mga ini-drawing lang, so HEPA filter. No? So gisali ko lang ito. So ang HEPA is 99.97 efficiency. So again, in MANOP, always remember, if it is not documented, then it did not happen. Maugid ni ang pinaka, ano sa MANOP, anong tawag dyan? So tawagan na, atong i-follow, no? Okay, it's 9:35. So I called everyone. So 35 ta. So duha gyapon imo ang ano, kasi itong duha ganiha. Dalagan. Sige be, turn on your cam kay mag-take og picture for the attendance at the end. So, okay? Asa nang uban? Halyores, Agad, Bukalon, Solanya, Atensya, Manganok, Zakaria. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Wow. Pag heart daw mo kay, this is your last topic, last ka ng subject for CEE2. Sige. Ay, mag-heart po daw ko, oy. Asa man siya? Ay, reactions. Bisaya. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. So natapos rin kayo and I hope you will, ay talaga ninyo i-off yung camera. Oy. Thank you. Fe. Ay, stick off inyong camera. Mura mo yung gadali. Oy. Sa di mo mga ito. 9:35 pa man.
Tight, ma'am.
Unsa? So this is your last subject for CA2 and you will have your exam. So I hope you learn something, if not a lot. Magbar pa ma'am celebration. Halak ka. Ganon. So ang exam as na lang natin, di ko kabalo sa kung ano, mag-asa lang mo kay Ma'am Padilla kay siya man ang mag-anuan.
Ay ma'am, murag naa sa kuan schedule din ata namin. Nasa May 18 daw po. Not sure po if
19
yun na
man ang start sa
final.
exam. 18. Sige.
Kung naa sa GC nga picture po.
Mao ba? Sige.
Ay ma'am, question ma'am. Apil ang MANOF po sa exam?
Kailan na ko appeal? Pero at least i-discuss na. Gusto mo appeal? I-discuss
Ikaw
lang
po
ako.
bahala ma'am.
Okay nang padili
Ay.
ba?
Siguro ito mga important lang na ano, sige lang, mga 5 questions. Ano lang.
Ay ma'am, dili mo mga pointers ma'am. Kay murag daghan yung subjects ma'am.
Gusto mo dito kung gihatag sa inyo ha, dito naman. Pila ra magka-question ang himuon namo? 20 questions
Gani mo
per
ba tapos
subject.
magsagol tanan ang subjects ma'am.
Ay dili oy ano man na ambot sa una ni ma'am i-divide one. Kaya because the board exam ngon ani magyapon. So yeah, we are just simulating. Oy niagi na ba mo ha? Niagi na mo last year. Oh, so you know the drill. You know the drill.
Nakuyawan gani ni ma'am sa CEE1.
Ano man? Si ito man eh.
Gani ma'am, nakaagi na pod mi sa CE.
Ah,
Na exam po ba?
try to forget. forget, kaya unsa na lang pag CEE4 ninyo, 3 and 4 sa 4th year. Oh. Diba?
Wala may subject 4th year, ma'am. Nga naman na pa CE.
Review man na siya. Review. The review, taon na ang review, this is a subject, but we made it into a subject. So that students will really have to pass it in order to graduate. Oh. Pag memorize lagi mo, na ICE 3 and 4 na siya sa 4th year na. First term is internship. Second term is CEE 3 and 4. Ana na siya. Okay. Take mo board exam. Diba? Okay. Sige. So again, as I've said, I hope you learned something, if not a lot, and I hope you remember all those things you have learned. And you really have to memorize class. Memorize. Di jud pwede magbasa lang mo sa pharma. Pharma, basa-basa lang. Apil sa mock boards. Kung sa apil sa mock boards lang. Alayo pa ng mock boards. Isa ninyo na pasarasan ninyo. Pasarasan ninyo na subject. Ang CEE, mag-mock boards sa 4th year. Mock boards mo. Karong nag-mock boards sila. I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, ang 4th year nag-mock boards. So 2 modules per day lang mock boards. 20 lang man ang ginapangayo sa MUA per subject. So I will submit 20 questions from DDS, 20 questions from micro. Nga i-pull na ni Ma'am Padilla. Ana ayangin mo. O ganun. Any other question? Please have mercy. Naminaw ka mo sa kuha.
Naminaw, ma'am, oy.
Aminaw,
Yes,
Jud.
ma'am.
Aminaw, Jud, kay as much as we could. Yeah. Because ana Jud gang, nag-pharma man ta. Pharma pa more. Too late na to back out. Diba? Diyos ko, Lord, 2 years sa senior high school, yung back out pa mo. Ay, wala na. Kaya nabasa na mo, halaliguan ang ulan diha. Anak lagi na siya. Sa to? Gusto radyod na ako, mamaligag tambal, ma'am. Yeah, mamaligag kag tambal. O yan, ikaw mo study. How'd pa imuhang? Ayo, dapat ikaw, how'd? Solving. Awal ako solving sa kuha. O sa ibang subject siguro meron ba? Okay, so I think we call it a night. It's already 9:42. So thank you for staying. So again, the absent lang, bantay, MX3 lang ang palitan sa food supplements is not equated with drugs sa lahi na siya. So, I mean, there's not enough studies when it comes to food supplements. So that's why kaya nga it's not a drug. It's under the category of supplements. O katuma nag-take og toxi dapat kabaloan ni ha, but Thailand dyan mo. Christian. You can say that to my family, ma'am. What will I say to your family? Nagainom sobra ng food supplement. Ay, ayaw dyan mo magsagol-sagol of food supplements. One food supplement is enough. But the bottom line is, if there's no need for you to take a drug, then, or any, not drug, but if there's no need for you to take a supplement, then don't take. No? It's not a necessity. Always remember that, because everything you take will be metabolized by the liver and excreted by the kidneys, so your liver and the kidneys are at risk, no? Lalo na if you take, mingon ang silingan, gwapo ni siya kay pampagwapa, kani pampabata, collagen, kani and everything, kani awaan na jud ang inyong liver and kidney na nagkabuang na unsay ang unahon, no? So dili jud siya maayo, no? Okay, so yan, if there's no need for it, then do not take it, no? Mura gunag kung wa kag kalintura ayaw inom paracetamol. Diba? Inom di kag paracetamol, prevention lang, ma'am. Ha? Kasi prevent mo. Kalintura. Kung ano mo prevent man ka, di ba? Logic lang na siya. vitamins, you can do so because we need that. But 1 vitamin a day is enough na, oy. Sa daw to, ma'am, maski pag gikalento dili na may inom og paracetamol. Ayo, food. Yes, ma'am, para makatulog. Katulog, paracetamol. So to, Advil, plus melatonin, plus cetirizine. Ha? Ma'am, naman kayo takidin yung cetirizine. That's anti-allergy. So, ang iyang side effect is makatulog ka. That's the side effect. Advil is for pain reliever. Melatonin is pangkatulog gihapon na siya. Na siya sleeping ang melatonin. Gang, maawa ka sa kidney mo. Saka sa liver mo. Si Christian dapat kabaluan ni. Toxin. Ay, kisa rin toxin ninyo. Ay, di man kalab na ako. Christian, no, DNA.
Si Ma'am Litob ako, ma'am.
Share lang ko sa pharmacy. Pwede po. Basta ikaw ang tag-iya. Okay. So, nakalimutan pray ganihan, no? Mag-pray ta karon. Okay, let us pray in the name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather and discuss the things that we have discussed. We thank you for the gift of life, for the gift of family, for the gift of friends, for the gift of wisdom, for the gift of knowledge. And we ask you to bless us always. And may you bless all our aspirations, our dreams, and our efforts. And may we always follow your holy will. This we pray and thank in Jesus' name with Mother Mary. Amen. Okay, good night, everyone. Okay, bye-bye.
Mother's
Ay po, ma'am. Thank you.
Advance Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day,
Day,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Mother's Day.